Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another weekly setup. So we are going to be analyzing over 20 pairs using the fxalexg set and forget strategy, and let me show you what we have for this new week. So last week, in case you guys don't know, we did not really trade. In fact, we have not traded for about 2 weeks now. And if you come over to the YouTube, you can see that LXG is about to, break down pairs live, right? So I'm going to be breaking my own pairs live first, so that when I start calling these pairs, it will not be like I copied LXG and stuff, right? So let's see. The very first pair right here is Euro NZD, right? As usual, we delete everything in the chart, right? And then we see what we have. Now, last week I was actually calling for these sales. I was calling for this sales, but we did not get the opportunity to actually sell the market. But as you can see, it clearly sold, right? Right now, we are looking for a new area of interest on the daily time frame to potentially sell this market to the downside. But right now, it doesn't seem like the area of interest is not that clean to me, right? But daily is clearly bearish, right? So let's just continue. Weekly is also bearish, and 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame is also bearish. So all three time frames are bearish. So we need like an area of interest to actually continue selling this market. So this right here, I can't really see anything on this market, to be honest, right? I'm going to be moving to the next pair. Euro NZD. Daily time frames also bearish. As you can see right here. As you can see right here, this is the lower low and this is the lower high for that. So daily time frame is bearish. Let's go to the weekly first. Weekly time frame is also bearish. Alright, so I'm looking for an area of interest here, but I cannot really see it. But this is the closest to the area of interest we can get, right? So this is the closest area of interest we can possibly get on Euro AUD. So let's go to the 4 hour time frame to see what we have there. 4 hour time frame Euro AUD. I expect market to continue selling, right, from this area right here. I expect market to continue selling. So let's go to the 1 hour time frame. I want to see how that looks. So 1 hour time frame, the market structure is still bullish. For us to sell this market, we need market to actually shift structure. Like we need market to actually break under this low, right? Which it will be way too far when that happens. It will be, when we have the break and retest under this low, it will be way too far. Price will be way too far from area of interest. So am I willing to actually do that? Well, we'll decide about that later, right? For now, we still have more markets to analyze to see what we have. The GPP card is the next pair. Let's see. All right, so GPP card. Let's delete everything first. All right, GPP card. I'm liking this already. The daily time frame, which is this time frame I'm looking at right now, is currently bullish, right? GPP card daily time frame currently bullish. Okay, weekly time frame. Technically, weekly time frame is bullish, but it's still all over the place, right? It still has a lot of choppy market on the weekly time frame. So let's go over to the 4 hour time frame and see. 4 hour time frame is actually bearish, right? This is the lower low and this is the lower high. So the time frame that looks the cleanest to me is actually the daily. It's actually the daily time frame. I'm still making a decision on what to do on this market exactly. But this right here will be our area of interest. I believe this market should continue buying next week, right? We have multiple rejections from this area right here, right? So we have multiple rejections, and I believe that this market could continue buying next week. But what I don't like is the two time frame is sync, the weekly is not that clean, the daily is the cleanest, but the 4 hour time frame, I really like when the daily and the 4 hour time frame are actually in sync compared to the weekly. It's just a personal thing, right? So I will make a decision on that on the Telegram channel. So if you come over to the YouTube right here, if you click on this, you can just simply join the Telegram channel. I'll update you guys on what to do. But I believe that this market should continue buying next week for next week, right? So I believe this market should continue buying potentially to this high right here. So on the 1 hour time frame, we'll look for more reasons to buy. In fact, I'm very likely to take this trade next week. Very, very likely to take this trade next week. So that is the data I'm seeing on the 1 hour and on the daily time frame. So I'll still add it for this week. It's not the best of the best, but it's the cleanest so far that I've seen. Right. So next pair, GBP USD daily time frame. Wow. All right. So we are finally having that retracement to these areas that I'm looking to buy from. Since we are still going to be waiting for market to get to that area first before we make any decision. So there's nothing I can necessarily do right now other than to wait, right? So that is that for GBP USD. Next pair is NZD USD, right? So NZD USD daily time frame. We have two areas of interest here. So daily time frame is clearly bullish, but again, I like when these have a much more deeper retracement to around here before we continue buying. This right here is just like a 10% discount. It's not that deep. In a market, in this kind of market, we need like at least a 50% discount, like a deeper retracement. You don't need this right here. So I'll not really be confident buying from here, right? But I believe that this market should potentially buy. Am I adding it for this week? I highly doubt I'll add it for this week because I don't like markets that I'm not feeling confident in taking, right? But clean area of interest, weekly is bullish, daily is also bullish, and 4 hour time frame is also, you know, is it bullish or bearish? If it comes back to area, it's going to be bearish. So we kind of need price to actually shift structure again. So I might just keep it close, but I highly doubt I might take this pair this new week. Euro GPP is the next pair. Let's see what we have. The daily time frame. All right, so Euro GBP, I just realized that we have been waiting for this market for 2 weeks now, right? We've been waiting for this market for 2 weeks now. So we wanted to sell from here the first time, but pretty much we were waiting for a break under this level right here, but market never did that. So we avoided a loss the first time. The second time he came here and he actually sold, but he never broke below that level. So we never really took that trade. Right now, we are still going to be waiting for that break under this level to take this trade. So this is what daily time frame. So daily time frame is what? So I'm still going to call daily time frame bullish until we break this level right here. So daily time frame is bullish, but we are seeing bearish signs because we are clearly breaking new lows. As you can see right here, we broke this low, we also broke this low, right? All right, so weekly time frame, let's see that. Weekly time frame is also bearish. Now, last week I was explaining how this doji might actually be a factor for price to continue bullish. So clearly it looks like market actually went bullish for some time, and right now we still close under the last weekly price, right? So clearly it shows that the sellers are still very strong inside this market, right? So now we have like two dojis on the weekly. That is a very good sign because it shows us that we are going to potentially continue selling this market. And if you look at the daily time frame, you can clearly see that we have some form of, it's not so clean, but we have like a left head, right shoulder right here. So this might be a very clean trade. I'm telling you right now, fxalexg might actually mention this pair on Sunday, right? So let's go over to the 4 hour time frame. Let's see what we have there. All right, coming over to the 4 hour time frame, you can clearly see what I've been saying for the past 2 weeks. Price have been struggling to actually break this low right here. As you can see, anytime it came around that low, we would just buy up strongly. Now, this is the main area of interest, this box right here, but we cannot just ignore that price has been respecting this level. If you sell right into that level, there's a very high chance that price will respect it again, right? So for this new week, what is my new game plan? Simple. It's the same thing. I'll wait for a break under this level. I need price to be trading within under this level, under this price, which is around, let's see, 0.6520. to around 0.656,400, right? Around that level, then we look for new patterns to sell, right? So we are going to potentially sell this market next week, right? So I like this pair. I'm still going to add it for this week. On the 1 hour time frame, if I come over to the 1 hour time frame, this is going to be a very, very clean setup next week, right? So Euro GBP sells for next week, right? Sells for next week. GBP CHF, let's see what we have there. So GBP CHF daily time frame. Now GBP CHF, I was actually expecting to buy, right, from this pink line, not pink line, this orange line. I was talking about how price might not actually respect that level since it has respected it in the past before. As you can see, anytime we came to that line, as you can see right here, anytime we came to that line, we strongly rejected up to the upside, right? Same thing here, same thing where again here, as you can see, right? So I was just explaining how it might not be respected this new time again because of the rejection to the downside, right? And if I'm going to be looking for buys, I'll clearly wait for a break and retest above this high, as you can see. So we never really even got the break and retest, so that's why we never even took any trade on GBP CHF. For now, that is the same game plan I'm still going to be waiting for. I don't think it's going to happen next week, so we are going to see that one out, right? Let's go to the next pair, GBP AUD. GBP AUD daily time frame. I expect this market to continue selling, right? I've already been seeing selling momentums on this market. It's very possible we are going to be taking GBP AUD. So let's see if we can get an area of interest. So first of all, the weekly time frame is clearly bearish, right? And I am seeing a weekly area of interest for the first time this year, right? Okay, that's a good sign. So now we know that this area of interest might be a very strong one. So weekly time frame is bearish. Daily time frame is also bearish, right? Now, if you guys have been following me for some time, you guys know that I don't usually use price action that have happened over 100 days ago. This right here, let's see how long it has been. If I believe it's too far, I don't feel confident using it. It's just a personal thing again, and it works for me, right? So this is over 370 days ago, right? What are the chances it's going to hold again? It's very possible it might hold, but I'll be very careful too as well, right? So that's the daily time frame, clearly bearish by the way, right? Weekly is also bearish. So we have the two higher time frames telling us sells, right? And then the 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame right now is reacting from area of interest. Let's see if we can get a round psychological level here. All right, so we have a round psychological level 1.96500. So let's draw it. So we have a round psychological level here 1.96500. Now the 4 hour time frame to me is not clear. It's not clear enough, right? But one thing I like about the 4 hour time frame is that we are at area of interest right now, and we have two dojis on the 4 hour time frame. So let's look at how the 1 hour looks. If it looks good enough, we'll potentially sell this market. So now what I'm seeing right now is that the market is clearly bullish, and we still need a shift under this low to sell this market. Am I likely to take this pair? It depends, but I highly doubt, right? We should be selling from area of interest, but the 1 hour time frame is not going to give us that shift of structure that we are looking for, right? We need markets to actually trade and have a shift of structure under this line to actually continue selling. This kind of pairs, Alex might be interested in taking this pair, so I'm just calling them out. He might actually be interested in taking this pairs, but me personally, I don't like those kind of setups, right? Because it's a little bit risky to take them, right? So GBP AUD, I'm expecting the market to continue selling. As you can see, I'm expecting the market to continue selling, but I am not interested in taking that pair. NZD-JPY is the next pair. Let's see what we have there. Alright, so NZD-JPY daily time frame is clearly bullish, as you can see, and we don't have area of interest, so there's basically nothing for us to do on this market. Let's check the 4 hour time frame to see if we can potentially get anything there. As you can see, there's nothing. we cannot take NZD JPY next week, right? GBP NZD, coming over to the daily time frame. Let's delete everything. This right here is too much drawings. So daily time frame on GBP NZD is also bearish, right? This right here is the lower low, and this right here is the lower high. So we need an area of interest within these two price points. I cannot see that. Weekly time frame, let's see. Weekly time frame is also bearish, but the area of interest, we can't see that. Now, I actually just believe that this market could continue selling because it has been selling since, right? But I can't necessarily see an area of interest to actually sell from, right? So I'll not be adding this pair for this new week. NZD card, next pair. Daily time frame on NZD card. Again, I need that deeper retracement. If I'm going to be drawing an area of interest, I'm going to be drawing an area of interest around this level right here, which might potentially hold. By the way, I'm not saying it's not going to hold. It's just when the pattern is, all the way high up, there's a very high chance of you hitting stop loss, right? So I'm not going to be drawing that area of interest that's up here, right? So I need a deeper retracement to continue buying NZD card. Euro USD. All right. So let's see. Euro USD. We'll be looking for buys on this market. Daily time frame. We are going to be using this as our area of interest, right? I'm going to expand this area of interest a little bit more. All right. I'll be using this as the area of interest on the daily time frame on Euro USD. Now, even though the market is bullish, right? Even though the market is bullish, I can't necessarily just buy, right? The momentum of these sellers coming back into the area of interest is too strong. That's another thing you need to know. It's too strong. So once price gets back to the area of interest, we need a little bit of slowdown, maybe a doji, and maybe even an engulfing. That is going to take us. This is the daily time frame. It's going to take us probably like 3 days, for that to be created before we actually potentially buy. What are the chances it's also going to buy in the next 2 days again, because we have 5 trading days all the way to this high, right? So I don't think it's going to happen this week, right? But I actually believe that this market could potentially buy. But I'm also going to put in it for these pairs. I'm going to put it as the pairs for this week, but I highly doubt it's going to happen this week, right? We still need the 4 hour to kind of shift bullish, right? We need 4 hours to come back to area of interest and even shift bullish. There's a lot of price action that still needs to be done on this time frame, right? So um the weekly time frame, by the way, let me come closer to show you guys. The weekly time frame, if you look at this candle, is a Marabuzu candle. So it's very likely that price might actually close bearish next week, right? Just to come back to area of interest and also create a wick under the Marabuzu candle on the weekly time frame, right? So that's another thing I'm noticing, okay? Or price could actually just wick into that area and continue that same week. I don't think you guys understand what I just said. Price might actually start selling back into the area of interest without actually closing at the area of interest for next week. It might actually just sell into that area of interest and actually continue buying next week alone, right? So it's also very possible. But I'm looking for buys on Euro USD. I'll just keep it close to as well. I'll make a decision about it later. AED USD is the next pair. We delete everything again as usual. So daily time frame. Alright. I don't like this pair because we need a deeper pullback, right? Because we need a deeper pullback on AED USD. For now, we'll sit it out. NZD JPY. Daily time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame. The daily time frame on GBP JPY, okay, GBP JPY is actually bearish, right? Daily time frame on GBP JPY is actually bearish, but the price action right now, the overall price action right now is bullish, right? So what do we do in this market? I don't know. Let's see how the 4 hour looks. Hmm. 4 hour time frame is bearish actually. 4 hour time frame is bearish. Daily time frame is also bearish. Weekly time frame is going to be bullish. Is bullish, right? I'm still thinking on what to do. This market is very confusing. I don't think I'm going to add it for this week, but I want to have a bias on this pair to see where we can potentially go. So assuming I'm drawing an area of interest here, it means what will make sense most on this pair is to actually have a break below this low right here, right? So if you have a break below this low, it means that when price breaks that low on the 4 hour time frame, the market is going to shift bearish on the 4 hour time frame, which will make the daily and the 4 hour bearish, which will also give that 2 time frame a sink again as well, and then we can potentially sell this market. So that is what makes sense, and for some reason now I want to add it for this week. So I'll make a decision about that later, right? So let me just bring GBP JPY close again. I'll make a decision about it later. Euro JPY, next pair, let's see. Daily time frame. Now I'm seeing buys on Euro JPY. Now I don't like when I'm analyzing JPY pairs and they are both showing me different directions, right? It's just a deja vu thing where more I saw more JPY pairs showing me sells, and then one of the JPY pairs I took was not showing me, buys, and then I took the buy and then I lost, right? It's just a deja vu thing. Now this right here, daily time frame is actually bearish, but we are holding this market as support right here. As you can see on this daily time frame, this is 1 2 3 4 days. 4 days of price action has been stalling around area of interest for long. Now as soon as we see any form of engulfing, especially bullish engulfing, right, this market could actually potentially buy all the way to this top right here, right? This market could actually buy. So let's see. Daily is bearish, overall structure is bullish, right? Weekly time frame, by the way, to the top doesn't have a Marabuzu candle, is a Marabuzu candle, which means it's likely to create a wick to the top, right? Okay, so weekly is also bullish, by the way. Weekly is bullish. 4 hour time frame. Now 4 hour time frame is actually bearish. 4 hour time frame is actually bearish, but I still believe this market could buy. I don't know why. So this is the entry time frame, which is the 1 hour time frame. So I actually genuinely believe that this market could actually buy, right? So I'll make a decision about it, but this is also a risky setup, right? Because the time frames are mostly bearish, right? Are mostly bearish because of this strong selling momentum. Actually, it's because of just this strong selling momentum, right? So that's why the market is bearish. But we cannot ignore these 4 dojis as area of interest too, right? And if we can get that entry, the risk to reward ratio is going to be very profitable, right? So Euro JPY, I will just keep it close to as well to see, but I believe that market could buy. AUD card, there's nothing to do there. USD JPY. USD JPY daily time frame is bearish, clearly. Alright, there's just nothing for us to do here. I'm not interested in USD JPY. CAD JPY. Alright, so let's go to the daily. I want to see something there. CAD JPY is bearish, and we could potentially, wow, all these JPY pairs giving a lot of very undecisive patterning. Actually, I genuinely don't know what to do on CAD JPY, so we'll sit it out. USD card. Daily time frame, let's see. USD card daily time frame. We need like a retracement back into this area to potentially sell, actually. Right? We need like a potential retracement to sell. I'm not necessarily interested in that market right now. AUD JPY, last pair to confirm which buyers we are supposed to be trading, is daily time frame is bullish. See, in this case now, AUD JPY daily time frame is bullish. Weekly time frame, well, will be clearly bullish. And then 4-hour time frame, let's see, is just very undecisive, but it's actually bullish, right? No area of interest. There's just nothing we can do here. So let me go back to these pairs and see exactly what we have for this week. So we have two good markets that potentially we could take, which is GBP card and Euro GPP, right? So I want to see it again. So what we had was this daily time frame, very clean area of interest right here. Multiple rejections from area of interest, and price has come to that area of interest again right now, as you can see. If you look at this, you can see like a break retest, right? And then we had a doji. Now this doji is reacting from the last previous structure point on the daily time frame, is reacting from area of interest, right? Is rejecting EME, as you can see right here. And let's see if we have a round psychological level right there. So as you can see, we have a round psychological level. We also rejected from round psychological level 1.8 thousand, 1.86 thousand, right? Okay, so now we have all this data from the daily time frame alone. Now weekly time frame, I'm pretty sure it's all over the place, right? But this market structure, this was bearish and it shifted more bearish again, and now that we shifted this high, it means that this market is bullish right now. So weekly time frame is actually bullish, right? Now 4-hour time frame, you can see, is slowed down getting into area of interest and rejected the area of interest, but this time frame is actually still bearish, right? It's actually still bearish, so that's where the risks is involved on this market, right? But this area of interest could potentially hold, right? So I'll make a decision again on the Telegram on what to do as soon as market opens. 1-hour time frame is also very clean. We are going to be having a cleaner break. We are going to be waiting for a cleaner break and retest to actually buy this market, right? So that's what I'm thinking. This is exactly what I'm thinking. I need market to open like this and have a retracement to potentially buy. That's exactly what I want to see next week. So GPP card for buys next week, okay. Euro GPP. Now I've been waiting for this one for 2 weeks, so I just know what we are supposed to be doing. We are supposed to be selling this market, right? And what I need is a clean break and retest under this level. In fact, I'm putting my alert right now because as soon as market opens, I should be very interested. This might be happening very early next week, right? This might be happening very early next week. So we need you need a break and retest to sell. This is the daily time frame, so let's look for a structure point to potentially take our profits. So there's one structure point here, 2 and 3, right? So there's no any very clean structure points that we can see, right? There's no very clean, so we'll just target 1:2 risk to reward ratio. Very good, right? NZD USD, did I say I'm going to pay attention to this market? Okay, I'm going to be also paying attention to this market, but I highly doubt I'll take this trade just because I'm expecting a much more deeper retracement. It feels safer to me, right? Euro USD, let's see. Okay, could potentially buy. Okay, GBP JPY, I'm expecting sales for some reason, and Euro JPY, I'm expecting buys. So let me make a decision on what to do now, right? So these 4 pairs, NZD USD, Euro USD, GBP JPY, and Euro JPY, these first two, NZD USD and Euro USD, I don't think they are going to happen this week, right? I believe NZD USD could potentially happen this week because the area of interest is not that far. But Euro USD, I highly doubt it might actually happen this week. But I'll still be watching them. It's very possible that there might be a lot of volatility next week, which might actually make market fast enough to give us the opportunity, right? So for these two, I'll just keep them down. Then Euro GBP, Euro JPY, I mean, and GBP JPY. Let us look at them again and see what we have there. Now, GBP JPY, overall market structure is bullish, but market structure right now is bearish, right? Okay, that's the data on the daily time frame. 4-hour time frame now. Now, 4-hour time frame, we also have a strong area right here too. So let's draw that one too as well. Let's not ignore it. So we also have a strong area right here. So what does that tell us? Is that this right here now, if you want to sell, we need a break under this low and a retracement to potentially sell. But if you sell from here, we might bump right into this area and price might reject upwards again, right? But for price to continue bullish, we can just, this right here is the retracement, we can just actually continue bullish right here, right? Now that's not a bad sign for our trade on Euro JPY, which might actually potentially start buying from here. That is the same thing I'm looking, right? That is a retracement right here to buy. So as I was saying on Euro JPY, as soon as we have that break and retest, I'll still be interested in buying this market. So these are my pairs for next week. I'll create a shorter version of this video to explain this a little bit better. Then we'll see what we have for next week, right? So remember to subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free, and subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications, because anytime Ziko Forex drop a new video, YouTube will send you anytime Ziko Forex drops a new video, YouTube will send you a notification letting you know that Ziko Forex just dropped a new video, so that you can jump right into it and start winning immediately. So I'll see you guys in the next video.